I am recording this webinar just in case anybody misses it or needs to drop off early. I will be sending this to the district communications to be able to share out with families after the fact. So we'll go ahead and get started. Again, this is the website to learn more about anything and everything that I talk about this evening, specific to Webster Groves families. We want you to stay in the know about programs at your school. So we'll talk about pricing, we'll talk about program offerings, all of that kind of stuff. You will find that on this website.
Dinner without a screen. All right.
I can't believe they would like. I don't know why I didn't think they would.
We do ask that if you could make sure that you remain on mute, I would be grateful. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Stephanie Hover. I actually come to you as not only a public education professional for the past, over 15 years now, with a background in not only teaching, but also special education. I was also in educational administration. I also worked with pre-service teachers in terms of educator effectiveness and creating shall we say, consistent and effective instructional delivery. I have an extensive background in curriculum and instruction and professional development, and I was also an athletic coach. I have been with Right at School for the past few years, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. Quite frankly, I actually was a parent myself who relied on before and after school care for my own kids. And that is how I came to fall in love with Right at School because we are offering next level service that is very, very exciting. And I wish that my grown children now had gotten this experience when they were little. I also want to introduce you to I have to go back here, to my colleague. Amy Kruckmeyer is joining us on the call today. She is our Regional Manager of Operations for the state of Missouri. Amy, do you want to say hi and introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everybody. We're so excited that you were able to join us tonight and learn a little bit more about Right at School in the Webster Groves District. So, my name is Amy Kruckmeyer. I am the regional manager over kind of the St. Louis market. I've been with Right at School since 2018, just kind of growing through multiple roles across the organization. And we're just beyond excited to kind of expand into Webster Groves District and get to work with each of you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Amy. And Amy will be monitoring our chat tonight. So if you do have questions that aren't covered in our forum information, we encourage you to ask those questions. And then Amy and our other area managers, Courtney and Juliana, will also help to assist me in answering those questions. Feel free to throw out those questions throughout the meeting. If we answer them in the meeting itself, then we're good to go. But we always have those additional questions, and we want to make sure that you stay in the know because, like I said, the whole point of this is you don't know what you don't know, and we want to introduce ourselves. So, with that
No,
said,
I just listen.
tonight's topics that we're going to focus on is who we are. Who is Right at School? Why is Right at School different? Safety is
And on this meeting, I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to listen.
just a friendly reminder. If you wouldn't mind going on mute, I would be so grateful. It's really difficult for me to monitor the buttons for the mute, and I can't keep everyone on mute. So if you would please make sure that you are on mute. So we also have a priority with safety. Safety is our number one priority.
Who do you like?
We also have a fantastic curriculum as well as a very intentional daily schedule. And I'm going to go through what that looks like and what your family and child will see come this summer starting in Webster Groves. We also want to talk about our staffing. We'll also talk about tuition and fees, which is usually one of the more popular pieces, of course, of our information. And then we'll also have our questions and discussion. So with that, let's start with who is Right at School. Our mission is pretty simple: to inspire a love of learning, support schools, and give parents peace of mind. And everything that we intentionally do in our given day, in our curriculum, in how we hire and staff our programs, has this mission in mind. And so, who is Right at School? And what is Right at School in Missouri? I want to take a minute to share with you what we have done with other districts thus far.
I am so excited to share with you the incredible things that Right at School and our Missouri school districts have done in the past couple of years.
We wanted to partner with someone who had the same ideology. Every child deserves the opportunity to learn, grow.
Steph, we can't see
Prior to
you.
our partnership, we really
Can't see it.
struggled with
See your
any type of
screen.
consistency for before and after care.
The onboarding process was beyond my expectations. They made the process easy.
Right out of the gates, it felt like a true partnership.
All right. We will have to move forward. Unfortunately, like I said, I am having some technical difficulties. Of course, this always happens when you need to have that technology moving along, and so I apologize. What I will do, however, is I will also make this presentation available to the district, so you will be able to click on the link. Nonetheless, to kind of summarize what that looks like, we entered Missouri 2 years ago. We started in Ladue, and from there we have built relationships with districts and have partnered now with officially 8 St. Louis area school districts, with more to come. And so we're so excited about the opportunity to serve the St. Louis area students. So, what makes Right at School different? Well, we have a very highly qualified staff. We work very, very hard and very diligently to not only make sure that we have good qualifications for our staff that exceed expectations, but in addition to that, we also want to make sure that our staff love kids. We also have a curriculum aligned to academic standards that offer a continuum of services 360 days a year. We also have flexible 1 to 5 day options for families. So there are districts that we have seen that only offer a 5 day option, whereas we actually have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 day options for families with prices that move accordingly.
Hey, Steph, real quick, we can't see the presentation either right now. If you can maybe try to reshare it.
I apologize.
No, that's okay.
All right, let's see here.
There you go. Then just click slideshow.
No, I'm aware. There we go. All right. I think we're all set now. Can we see it now?
Yep, all good.
All right. Thank you, Amy. We also have a convenient online parent portal for payment and schedule changes. This is so important because, we have to be flexible and fluid. So let's say you choose a 3 day option for your kiddo, and let's say those days fluctuate. With notice the week prior, you are able to modify those days that you need care. Also, too, we have a full customer service department in addition to our on-site staff. So there is always someone to get a hold of should you need anything. We also offer a variety of discounts for siblings as well as equitable access and active military personnel. We also have the option for drop-in and punch card options as well. As I mentioned in our itinerary of things that we were going to do, the next thing I want to talk about is safety. Safety is our number one priority, and we have to absolutely talk about it first and foremost. And that safety revolves around staff and making sure that those staff are taking care of your kids. So prior to hire, we do exhaustive pre-vetting with FBI and BCI background checks, sex offender and abuse neglect registry checks, past employment verification, reference checks, you name it. That is our number one priority when it comes to recruiting our staff. Then from there, every procedure is intentional. For instance, with our check-in and check-out and attendance transitions, we utilize what's called name to face recognition so that not only are we building relationships with kids, making sure they are safe, but also too being able to assess students in terms of, are they having a bad day? Are they having a good day? We use those intentional measures to make sure that we are ensuring safety. And from there, we also have our partnership. We partner very closely with the district on school safety procedures. We work in line with the district's emergency plans, lockdown drills, and so on. And we communicate proactively with the district and vice versa to make sure that we are always on the same page. And then finally, practice. Our managers focus continuously on safety, and we do this through professional development. So, live trainings, drills, quality checks. We work to make sure that our staff stay current and are always in the know and are constantly being refreshed of what our safety priorities and procedures are. As I mentioned, we have our intentional daily schedule. And so each day when your student comes to Right at School, we provide community, choice, and fun. So each day, what this is going to look like is your student will come to program and they will experience that name to face recognition for check-in, and we will move into what's called town hall. Town hall is going to be that start to program where we have snack, we set expectations for the day, talk about what we're going to be doing. We're going to establish norms. We are going to do our bathroom breaks, that kind of thing. We are going to get set up for an afternoon. I'm going to use afternoon as an example for this of fun. Then from there, we're going to move into what we call our right moves section of our day. Right moves is going to be that opportunity to get the wiggles out. If I were to say to Amy, Amy, do you want to come and learn with me after school, after a full day? She would look at me like I was nuts. We don't want to do that. And so with right moves, this gives a chance for kids to, like I said, regroup after that snack, have that chance to get those wiggles out and be able to get ready for the next components of our day. Then we move into our language piece. Our language piece is going to just be a short opportunity for students to be able to learn foreign language. This last year we had French. We have not announced what our language of 2026 is going to be yet. I'm very excited for that announcement. But nonetheless, this gives a chance to be able to give a supplemental piece of what our students are doing in their ELA classes with concrete vocabulary and background knowledge. And this is just a chance to kind of up the ante in terms of some of that science of reading stuff. Then we get into our flexible enrichment block. And our flexible enrichment block is going to include our amazing, what we call station rotation. And so this is going to be that opportunity for students to be able to get a little continuation of some content, as well as be able to learn and practice durable skills that are going to lead them to be even more future ready students by the time they graduate. And I'll talk more about our curriculum and specifically lessons when it comes to that flexible enrichment block. This also could be an opportunity for homework as well. And so, depending upon what the district decides they want to do with this time, it could be a combination of the homework time as well as the station rotation. That is most likely the plan. Then we have our closing activities. Our closing activities are going to be individual or small group activities that occur at the end of program. We never want to do a large group activity at the very end. And the reason for that is because as families are picking up their students, we don't want to interrupt a large game. And with that flexible enrichment block, sometimes we also use what we call our playwright fitness. And those are going to be those large group games where nobody is out. We never want people to be out of the game because ultimately we want to make sure that everyone is included and nobody feels some sort of way sitting off to the side. I hated that when I was a little kid, and we are just not doing that. Our Right Club curriculum for 25-26. This is just an example of what it is that we're doing in our programs this year. We change our curriculum every year so that it is the most cutting edge and current. And so some of the units that our students currently are seeing are Dream Team Challenge, Right Club Gives Back. I'll talk more about that community focused piece of things in just a moment. Art Ventures, Wildlife Wanderers, STEM Engineers, Toy Lab, Storybook Creations, Kinetic Kids, Globetrotters, the geography. I was a social studies teacher. I'm all over this kind of stuff. Storybook creation, silly scientists. If you notice, we are actually utilizing different content areas along with durable skills within the lessons in our units. And our daily lesson design is built very, very similar to that of what I, for instance, would have used in a classroom. So we have our supplies, our preparation. We always have a learning objective or a learning outcome for our lessons. We also have warm-ups, activities, wrap up, takeaway. This is a fundamental lesson, what a lesson would look like. And also, too, on top of that, we also offer tips and tricks for our educators to also be able to have that effective instructional delivery that's so important and so, quite frankly, essential to having good learning outcomes. And so this is ultimately what we talk about every day. And this is one of my favorite lessons. So again, I was a social studies teacher, okay? And I loved ancient Greek and Roman history. And so I fell in love with this when I learned of our Roman aqueducts. Not only are we combining that history piece, but we're also combining that STEAM piece with our engineering component. Because ultimately, what happens here is that you have our small groups, as you notice, the little girls in the photo, they constructed a Roman aqueduct or a piece of one, if you will. From there, then, eventually, those are all combined with the other groups that are creating their Roman aqueducts, and they have to engineer them to make the water move from point A to point B to point C and so on. It's incredible. And on top of that content piece, you're also getting the durable skills component. For instance, the collaboration, the problem solving, things that are going or skills that are going to assist kids in being more future ready over time. Durable skills. We help children ultimately be able to, have connections with peers, families, school, and community. We are locally inspired. Each district is tailored differently, and the values of every district are different as well. And we acknowledge and we value that. And so when it comes to those community, school, family, and peer connections, We want to honor that. And so we do so with our student leadership program, opportunities for those older kiddos to participate and help us to lead and design what our program is going to look like. We have our community service events like our Toy Makers Fair, and as well as our variety show, where we are engaging our families with our kiddos and ultimately doing great things for the community. We also have family performances. This is the variety show, for instance, and this is a fan favorite among programs. I always look forward to the variety show myself. As I mentioned before, staffing is a huge piece of what we do. We hire qualified local educators who love kids. And the reason for that is because Right at School truly is a place to play, learn, and grow. So, how do we go about doing that? Well, with that said, we really put an emphasis not only on our background checks or that pre-hiring process that I spoke to earlier and our safety component, but we also do extensive online, on-site training, as well as field mentorship, and then from there, ongoing coaching and support and professional development. The reason why we do this is because we need to make sure that our staff are prepared, engaged, and confident in their roles because they can't be successful if they are not. And so this is, in fact, a top priority for us. And so when we talk about our training and development, we focus on a number of different aspects of this. From our partnership building, we talked about how the district and Right at School collaborates on safety protocols and communication and so on and so forth. It is imperative that our local on-site staff are engaging in this. We also work with program management, child development, and that pedagogical piece of what that looks like for what it means to work with say a 4-year-old versus an 8-year-old. They're very different. Also, positive progress or progressive guidance. That's going to be very, very similar. You want to think of it as, that's a fancy smancy way of saying behavior management. The thing of it is that when it comes to behavior management, our intentional program design is set up to make sure that we can actually de-escalate behaviors before they begin. So we don't have those behavior issues that could result in program. Safety and reporting. Again, we are mandatory reporters. We hold this in high regard. When it comes to this, it is so important that our staff, like I said, are confident and knowledgeable in what that looks like. Parent relationships, electives and vendor partnerships, leadership and coaching. These are all so important. We need to make sure our educators can effectively communicate with you. Also, too, we focus on quality program methods, conducting employee evaluations, curriculum and instruction, professional expectations, emergency preparation and response, state licensing and accreditation, communication and marketing, as well as special needs students. All of these are combined into our ongoing training. And so we have initial and continuous professional development. Now for the good stuff. When it comes to our options for Webster Groves, as well as for the pricing. So this, again, can all be found on the website provided. But we are actually going to start programming in summer 2026. And so these are the programs that will be available. Some will be the same as what they were, some will be enhanced, And from there, some will be brand new. And so, depending upon what it is that you're looking for, we have a program for everyone. The biggest thing I can emphasize with all of you is that registration will open March 9th. We will host another virtual family forum prior to that, as well as an in-person family forum, and that will be the week prior to March 9th. So stay tuned for details on that registration information and those family forums. So with that, the first program I want to share with you is going to be our 2026 Summer School K through 5 program. I'm calling this option 1 to make sure that we're clear and we can decipher between these. So this is going to be essentially summer school or a summer school wrap, if you will. So June 1st through June 26th, we're not off to a great start when it comes to snow days. So cross your fingers that we're not going past that June 1st mark. But nonetheless, this is going to be available to students in grades K through 5 who are enrolled in the SEE program only. So if your child is enrolling in the SEE program, this is the program that you would be looking at. It is $50 a week for the morning and $150 for afternoon care from 11:40 to 5:45, and this goes for 4 weeks. Now, with that said, if you, for some reason, are going on vacation or something like that, you do pay per week. And so, if that is something that, let's say you're taking vacation that first week and your student is going to miss that first week of summer school, that is an option available to you, is where you only pay for the weeks that you attend. Our next option, again, I'm calling it option 2, just to keep it separate. Again, June 1st through June 26th. This is going to be for those students that are enrolled in both the Celebrate Reading and SEE program. So option 1 and option 2 will be held at Givens Elementary and Bristol Elementary. And so this option for the Celebrate Reading and SEE program students will be, again, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., $50 for the morning. And then from there, it'll be $250 to $545, and that'll be $75 for afternoon care. Then we also have our Jumpstart program option. So this is for Jumpstart students only. Now, Jumpstart students they only register for 1 session. So you would only register for either session 1 or session 2 of that summer school weekly PM pricing. So this is, again, going to be available to students enrolled in either Jumpstart session, and which meaning they're turning 5 prior to August 1st. And this is going to be located at the Ambrose Family Center, again, this summer. And so what this will look like is going to be $240 a week, and it runs from 11:40. So once Jumpstart is dismissed until 5:30, and educators from the Jumpstart program and Right at School will collaborate to get the kiddos from point A to point B, so to speak. So we will make sure that they get to Ambrose Family Center accordingly for program. The other thing to point out too is that I think that if I recall, there is it's not a full 5 days. And keep in mind that anytime we have a week where you have a holiday or whatever that looks like, those are in fact prorated. Then the exciting part, we have a brand new program coming to Webster Groves this summer after summer school. This will start June 29th and run through July 31st. 2026 full day summer camp for grades K through 5. And this is so exciting. Summer camp will begin at 7 a.m. and runs until 6:00 p.m. We will be hosting it at Clark Elementary, and it is $230 a week. As I mentioned before, one thing to keep in mind is that, again, if you're going on vacation or you don't need that given week, you can choose what weeks you want to attend. So you're not having to pay for weeks that your child is not in attendance. Then we also have another exciting addition. We also are offering a continuation of the pre-K camp located at Ambrose Family Center. And so we will actually run full day camp from June 1st to July 31st at Ambrose for students aged 3 to 5. Again, it's going to be students turning 5 prior to August 1st. They must be toilet trained to attend. This camp will run from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and the cost is $300 per week. And that is actually priced to match the current June rates that Ambrose currently offers for their camp. In terms of program pricing for fall 26, so this is going to be the 26-27 school year. As you can see, after school, before school, and combo rates are located here. We do charge monthly, so these are monthly prices. You will not see an increase in the 5-day rates that you are currently paying. And if you notice, you have the option of 4, 3, 2, and 1-day options as well. And those are priced accordingly. In terms of program fees, registration is $75 per family. This was a popular suggestion made by our current families, and we listened. And so we have now a registration fee of $75 per family, no matter how many children you are enrolling. We also offer a drop-in rate of $50. What would happen is that you register your student as normal, and then from there, you would ultimately, if you needed to drop in, you can absolutely do that. From there, then we also have a 10-day punch card. This is a punch card that can be purchased for $450, and it allows for you to be able to essentially bring your child when you need care. And so this is also available. Non-school days are $60, and that is going to be for, say, professional development days, possible winter and spring break, that kind of thing would be considered a non-school day. This does not include holidays or snow days. Our discounts, as again, I mentioned, we have a 10% sibling discount, military discount of 10%. We also have an equitable access discount of 20%. And then we also have a district employee discount of 50%. When it comes to registering, again, I encourage you to join us on our webinar that leads into the next, or into registration that week prior to March 9th, as well as the end of February. Ultimately, we'll go through and just do a refresher of how to register. I promise I won't have the technical difficulties I did tonight. Thank you again for bearing with me. But we will actually help you step by step should you need it. And so with that, I want to share with you, if you want a screenshot, if you want to take a quick photo, I wanted to provide Amy, who you met at the beginning of the webinar, our regional manager. Her direct line is 847-894-9004. And you can also email her at amy.kruckmeyer@rightatschool.com. I recommend starting with that. And if you need further assistance, you can also reach our Right at School customer service at 855-287-2466. So with that said, I am going to go ahead and I am going to let Amy take the floor in terms of questions. And with that, we'll go ahead. It looks like she did answer some. Amy, are there any that you want us to go through specifically?
I think I'm answering another question right now. I just read the one about wait lists. So I'm going to respond in the chat right here. But yes, it is true that we will not have any wait lists. We proactively recruit and staff programs to ensure that we're meeting that enrollment target so that we're kind of overstaffed and prepared so that we can remove those wait lists. So it might sound too good to be true at first, but I promise you, yes, there will not be any wait lists.
Yep. And we're working diligently with the district to make sure that we have these spaces locked down in terms of what that looks like. The other part of it too is what I will say is that when we open registration March 9th, we do encourage you to register right away, but we will keep registration open. So if it won't be like me where I had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and make sure I was in line ready to go to register my kids or I was out of luck. That's not happening. But we do recommend that you do register early. Reason being is it truly helps us to be able to effectively staff our programs. And the more we know, even the better. The other thing to point out too, and this question comes up a lot when it comes to drop-ins and our punch card. So the way that our staffing model works is that we actually overstaff with what we call over ratio. So in the state of Missouri requires for different age groups, and I'm just going to use K through 5 as an example. The ratio is 1 to 16. We always have we staff over ratio, and the reason we do that is so we can anticipate those drop-ins, those individuals that use their punch card, that kind of thing. So we do need that, obviously, the notice the day before, but that allows us to be able to make sure that we remain in compliance with the state. Those are the questions that we get asked probably in terms of the too good to be true component, wouldn't you say, Amy?
Absolutely. I also, really quick, I see Audrey, your question too. This is another really good question. Is everyone guaranteed a spot for summer camp that registers on March 9th? So you no longer have to try and secure or solidify a spot. You don't have to wait until the day or the time that we release registration or it goes live on our website. You're able to register at any point throughout the entire school year. So, next summer, if you want to register the day we open on whatever day it is, if it is March 9th that we open registration, you can also wait until, uh April, May, June, any of those days. You can also register halfway through the summer if you decide that you do need summer care at a later point in time. You can cancel at any point, you can re-enroll at any point. There is no stress with having to kind of watch and wait to secure a spot at that point. So hopefully that helps there.
I could answer Carmen's question.
Thank you.
Yep. So Carmen asked the question, is there aftercare for summer school for kids 3 to 4 not in Jumpstart? As long as they can do the Ambrose full day program that is available to them. So in short, yes. And so that is available. It doesn't have to be the Jumpstart. The Jumpstart is just like a modification, if you will, to the full day is really kind of what it comes down to. Will registration be for summer programs as well as 26? Yes. So we're doing the whole shebang all at once. And so when the district and Right at School first started talking about this, we know the struggles that have been there in terms of the wait list and that kind of thing. And so we wanted to be able to provide families every opportunity to be able to register for all the things and do it so that they have peace of mind going into this spring. Okay, you talked about the wait lists. Okay, and the sibling discount does apply to summer.
There was a question I think I missed and I can't find it
So
here.
yep. So Audrey asks, our kids that are finishing pre-K this year and then starting kinder next year. So that would be yes. So so incoming kindergartners would do the K through 5. Um, Audrey, do me a favor if you don't mind hanging back at the very end. I want to clarify on that if you don't mind. So just hang back for a second after we adjourn the meeting.
Stephanie asks if you're signed up for aftercare, can you purchase a punch card for morning care drop-ins? Our punch cards do actually count for a full day, so it would include mornings and afternoons. But if you're only registered on a weekly basis for the afternoon program, let's say you attend 5 days a week, you need a punch card for mornings for that occasional, if you go into the office, there's a late drop-off, whatever it is, you can absolutely do that. But punch cards are good for mornings and afternoons. How long in advance do you have to say the child is coming in for a drop-in spot? Same day. It can be same day. So, in the morning, if you need them to come in the morning, no worries, by all means. Just if it's morning care, you can just drop them off and use it towards a punch. If it's in the afternoon, we do ask that you just notify our staff as soon as possible. It can still be same day. We prefer about 2 hours in advance, just so we can get in touch with the front office, ensure the teacher is aware so that your kiddo does come to our program. Is there a payment plan or is it due all at once? I believe you can set up payment plans in the parent portal. There are a few different options for that. Is breakfast available morning and or an afternoon snack? We do offer morning snack at our morning programs. It's something like Belvita, granola bar, things like that. You're also welcome to bring your own snack if your kiddo really enjoys Frosted Flake cereal, you can bring that to the morning program as well. We just ask that is peanut free. Same thing with afternoon. We do offer an afternoon snack. It's nothing like a full meal. But again, if you need to send an additional snack in the backpack, totally fine. For summer camps, do the kids bring their own lunch? We do, yes. So we would ask that you bring your own lunch for our summer camp for our full day programs there. Are we available to switch attendance frequency throughout the year? For example, 1 month do 5 days a week, the next only do 3. Yep, absolutely. Just let us know and we can kind of partner with you to help you get that filled out in customer service so you're charged accordingly.
Amy, how long does it take to typically process that request though? I just want to make sure that we're making sure with Keith, I just want to make sure you have plenty, like you're giving plenty of notice so that there's nothing lost in translation.
Yep, absolutely. So please let us know. I'd say like the last week of the month. So please, I'd say like before the 25th of each month, just so that gives us time to process it with our customer service team so you don't get charged. We can always reverse it and kind of do the refunds and adjust it from there. But just to prevent from being charged the same amount that you were from the month previous, if you can let us know like within the last week or two before the last day of the month.
Molly has asked, will that bring your own lunch apply to the pre-K kids at Ambrose too? Historically, it has not. Yes, it will be a bring your own lunch scenario. We're able to extend the weeks that we're offering in terms of being able to do that and keep costs down for families. So yes, families will need to send their pre-K kiddo at Ambrose with lunch as well. Any other questions? Okay. I appreciate each and every one of you joining us. Thank you. Thank you for bearing with my technical difficulty. That is so embarrassing when that happens. I appreciate all of you so much. We are so excited to work with your kids. And if you have any questions at all that we weren't able to answer tonight, or you didn't get a chance, or you want to talk to us specifically about your family situation, please absolutely reach out to us. We are here to help. Thank you so much, and we'll hopefully see you in March. Take care.